Welcome to the scariest night of the year, November 1st.
Okay, wait, I have a hot take about this. I think November is a cooler and scarier month than October. November is scarier because you got more ghouls.
Yes. I think like pumpkin patches are more fun in November because it's not as hot.
Yeah.
Like I think because we are in Texas specifically, like we don't start getting that fall weather until like this month.
True.
So,
maybe I'd like October if I lived somewhere like Canada or something where they have real seasons.
Right.
That's a good point.
But
in Texas, it's like October. Would you like to go swimming? It's 100 degrees.
Even today, it was like 80 at the high. Like, ugh. Welcome to our scariest time of year.
Ooh.
It's actually probably the least scary because it's the lowest threat of tornadoes and thunderstorms, I feel
Low,
like.
but not zero.
No. We're coasting down here, baby. Hi. It has been a couple weeks since we recorded. Yeah. Because dang, October got real out of hand real fast.
Yeah, I was working like all the time. Like constantly.
So we had initially planned to do a live episode. We didn't get around to it.
Yeah, I forgot until just now, if I'm being honest. I don't remember anything.
It's all good. Ghouls for Charity is like wrapping up this week because I think a couple people wanted to do some streams still.
Yay.
We've ended up raising like $2,600 for Trans Lifeline altogether.
Yay, that's so good.
So it's very exciting. Less exciting, we went and saw Halloween Ends at the drive-in, and I have some thoughts. This is going to be the most negative episode that
Strap in.
Released.
We've
got
nothing good to say.
This is our hottest take for the coldest nights.
Stay warm by our scathing review.
Fueled by our spite. So, Halloween Ends was not a good movie.
No.
It is very bad.
It's so bad.
And they tried to make like a definitive end to the series because I think they lost the rights after this one just because of like Hollywood stuff. But
a customer at my job was talking about it to me. He was kind of like slightly defending it a bit. Like he didn't like it, but he's like a Halloween fan. He was wearing a Halloween shirt. That's why I brought it up anyway. And then I described it to him as Michael Myers being a sad little boy in the sewers getting beat up by the Joker who just wants a girlfriend. And he like died. But that's like the best way to describe this movie.
He's a sad old man who subsists off of rats and is not in the movie for a whole lot of it. I have a problem. I have multiple problems with this whole trilogy. So instead of like, covering them all one at a time, we're going to do the thing that we joke about that we're never going to do again. And we're going to talk about this whole fucking trilogy. Cause like, y'all,
we're at it again.
I can't deal with it. Here's the thing. I really enjoyed Halloween 2018.
Yeah, it's
I thought it was a solid like return to form. Like we hadn't seen a ton of slashers in a while. Like none of Freddy and Jason are still in like legal hot water, I think. So like we haven't seen any of those movies since the Platinum Dune. And this is the first like requel that I think came out. And I thought it was good. I liked all the characters in it. I'm going to preface this too by saying that like none of what I'm going to say throughout this entire episode is a dunk on like the actors, because like Jamie Lee Curtis is an icon. I really liked the new cast of characters for the most part.
Yeah, they all did a good job with what they were given.
Yes. My my problem, to simplify it, with this entire series is that it's a little too we live in a society for me. It's like it's cuz oh my god. I just like it makes sense. It makes sense that Danny McBride is like one of the lead writers and producers
Who's
for
that?
it. He's largely a comedian. He is in a lot of stoner movies.
Oh.
If I send you his picture, you will recognize him.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, this guy.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
So this series is the most like rolls a fat one and then goes, what if we're the real monsters? And it's like, that point has been made 500 fucking million times by now. Like,
all over.
please.
Yes, humanity is bad. Boo hoo. I don't care. I just want to see Michael stab people.
so the first one I like.
Yeah, it has a really cool remix of the original song.
The music is really good too.
Oh,
John
so
Carpenter's
good.
like back on his shit. Like that's rad.
So good, so good. The music throughout all of them was good. I have no complaints about the music throughout all of them. I remember when we were watching Halloween Ends, I was even like, oh, this is a bop at least. I remember thinking that.
I like how the first one touches on how like essentially any true crime fan can like fancy themselves a journalist and like kick off a whole lot of pain and suffering in a community, because like I don't really fuck with true crime that much, and it kind of is their fault for provoking him. And I like the cast of characters that we meet in the first one, because it just feels like a real town, and then everybody just quickly becomes like an angry caricature of themselves. The only thing I really am not like a super big fan of is Dr. Sartain in the first one, because like they're trying to fill in that Loomis gap, and I think they realize that like, oh, we can't find anybody to fill Donald Pleasance's shoes, so like we're just gonna forget about that with these sequels. And I think the trilogy kind of suffers for it as a result, because there's not that like that foil. It's like the thing with Laurie is just like she's just a random victim, you know, and that's what makes the first Halloween and Halloween 2018 scary, because there was no reason why Michael attacked them. He just did. Like,
Yep. And now she lives in fear, and they show how that affected her family, which I thought was cool. Honestly, that could have been the only movie. It didn't need to be a trilogy, and I would have been like, yep, I'm happy with this.
The kills in the first one are very cool. Like, they're very brutal, and I'm into it. And even the ending, like, confrontation between all of the Strodes and Michael is super cool. Like, I was into it, because we had these, like, new characters and these old characters, like, riding off into the night, and it's unclear about, you know, whether or not it's the end of the story. I would have been happy if the series had just ended there, because like,
yep, exactly.
Who knows? It's scarier if Michael Myers, if you don't know if he is alive or dead.
Yeah. Is he dead in the fire? Is he not dead in the fire? Wow. You don't know.
So yeah, that's it's so it makes me sad, because like it could have been so cool. It could have been rad. Also, I don't understand why everybody wants Michael to talk. Every time Michael has like had to say words in any of the Halloween movies, it's always very not cool. Like, I think he at one point just yells "die" in the Rob Zombie movies, and it's like,
I hate those ones.
Okay.
Maybe a hot take. I have met so many people that love the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. I just did not like them. I watched them as a young teen, a young lass, and I was like, ew. So maybe I need to rewatch them, but I was just like, I don't want to see this many boobies. It's like a lot.
That's just all Rob Zombie movies, though.
Yeah, true. Die.
Die! And then I think he stabs the man. I think that's it.
It's less scary if he talks.
Yes. And then we rolled right into Halloween Kills and started off promising. I like the cool fire scene at the beginning because he fucks up those dudes in a pretty major way.
He does. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. You know what is also like very funny to me? They have no idea what to do with the sheriff character, and he has like such a cool like presence, and they just do nothing with him. Like he barely shows up in the first movie, and then he shows up less and less with each one, and by the third, he's like, "This isn't our way," and they literally just like walk past him as a group. Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, he doesn't really do anything. That's how a lot of the writing feels. It just becomes like they didn't do anything. What's even happening? What's the point of this movie?
We've been here before. Like, it just repeat. And that was also a very cool thing about the 2018 version, is that they took a lot of the shots and a lot of the like plot points and subverted it by swapping Michael with Laurie or Laurie with Michael and like some of those shots, so you could like really feel the impact of like their first encounter throughout. Which one do you dislike more, Halloween Kills or Ends?
Ends.
Okay.
I hated Ends. I was literally scrolling TikTok for a lot of it. In the backseat, I was just like, "Oh, I'm looking at." Whenever we get to talking about just Halloween Ends, I'll talk about it. I did not like it.
Mm-hmm.
And people on the internet did like it. They really like the Joker character. I think they just think he's cute, to be honest. So they're going to defend him no matter what.
I am going to look up what was the Rotten Tomatoes on the very first of this. Okay, so the first one has a 79%.
Yeah, that's a very fair percentage, I think.
It's still like mostly positive. Let's see, Halloween Kills has... Where's your Rotten Tomatoes? How's that one? How's that one doing?
What did it get?
A 38%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus, I just really...
What did Ends get? It's also in the 30s, isn't it?
Let's see, Halloween Ends is sitting at 41%.
That's generous.
So it is just a little bit better. I've seen some people I've seen people theorize that the intent of David Gordon Green is to like mimic the response that the original like trilogy of Halloween movies had. Because the whole series, like when it was pitched, was meant to be like an anthology. Like, I don't even think the original Halloween 2 was supposed to have Michael Myers, but because it was so successful, they were like, you gotta bring him back. And John Carpenter was like, yeah, okay, sure.
Okay. Well, I was reading that Michael had more screen time in Halloween Ends than he did in the original Halloween still, which is interesting. But he didn't have the scary thing about Michael is like he could be there. It didn't feel like that in Halloween Ends. It was just like, he's in the sewer. Like it didn't feel like he could be anywhere doing anything. It's like, no, he's probably napping.
Right, yeah. And Halloween 3 was initially like very unpopular because of the same reasons. Like that one does not have Michael Myers at all. It's about an evil CEO who wants to kill kids with Halloween masks, and it is like full on campy and gross. There's like a robot. Have you ever seen the original Halloween 3?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, it is wild. There's a robot security guard who is essentially like a Terminator. Like he looks like a man, but he is a robot.
That's amazing. I need to watch them.
It's it's wild because they put the masks on the kid, and then there's like a commercial that plays that is supposed to like kick off the killing, but it essentially like makes the kids' heads like decompose, and then a bunch of snakes and bugs crawl out like it was a Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's a very weird movie, and then because of the reception to that, they decided to bring Michael back for Halloween Part 4. And I like Part 4 and 5 less than like the originals because it has his niece. And I think she does a really good job. And who is that? Is that Danielle Harris? I think who
I
plays.
don't think I realized there were so many Halloween movies.
Yeah, there were a lot. It's just like each time they try to bring back this character, it doesn't seem to go super well, or it starts off promising and then just like quickly collapses because they don't know when to stop. Because even Halloween, H2O, which was like 20 years after the first Halloween, right?
With the Australian mermaids.
What?
The
Oh, okay,
H2O
I get you. I get you. Okay, I understand.
Cleo.
There's no mermaids in that one, but there is LL Cool J.
Okay, well, that's a good trade-off.
He plays a security guard who likes to write porn novels in his free time, and he reads them to his wife during his breaks, and they're very bad. But like Halloween H2O did the same thing where they brought Michael back, they brought back Jamie Lee Curtis, and at the end of that one, spoilers, sorry, it's implied that Laurie kills Michael. It's very cool because it's like very satisfying to have her like finally overcome this. And then they ruin it directly in the sequel by saying, "Oh no, she accidentally decapitated the wrong guy because Michael switched costumes with an ambulance paramedic."
So stupid. That's so dumb.
So yeah, and then they get so close. They get so close every time, and then they're like, "But money."
Yeah, but money, exactly. I just like the first one. I just like it. I'm a simple gal. I like the first one. It's got the vibes. I don't know.
I think I may dislike Halloween Kills more than Halloween Ends, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
I get the hospital scene in particular is a real rough watch.
I fucking forgot about the hospital scene. Oh.
And it's just...
I deleted that from my brain.
It's so bad.
Oh, that was not in my brain at all. It was gone. Okay, yeah. I might have to agree with you.
That's where we first get the what if we're the real monsters, because the whole town decides to go into a mob mentality and hunt down Michael Myers. Weirdly, like calling back to my complaint about Freaky, where like everyone should know what this man looks like, but they don't for some reason, and then they assume it's a guy who's like 5'3" and like clearly like struggling.
Yeah, I don't know why they decide it's that man. I completely forgot about that.
There's no reason. There is no reason aside from he is wearing the like same jumpsuit, that white jumpsuit from the
like
hospital.
It's such a generic outfit. Like I forgot about that scene. Yeah, that might make it worse. They're both bad though. I would honestly rank them the same. Bad for different reasons.
It's just, it really ruins it for me. And then like, people just keep making bad decisions. Like most of the people who die in Halloween Kills, like it's just their fault. Like there's that one lady, the lady who's dressed up as a nurse who like goes to shoot Michael, and then he like hits the door and she accidentally shoots herself.
Yeah. Oh, people are really stupid in these movies, like really stupid. Like,
and then Lonnie goes into the house by himself and gets murdered in the attic very quickly because Michael has teleportation powers, apparently.
Have you seen all the TikToks of like when the camera's off Michael and it's him like sprinting full force? It's so fun.
I also really hate how brutal they are to the gay couple in that movie.
Yeah, what the heck is up with that?
I don't know. It like seriously bummed me out when we watched it. It was the same like vibe as the beginning of It 2, where it just feels like completely
like why
unnecessary.
They took that out of the original like mini-series version of it, didn't they? Like, why did they have to add it back?
Yeah, I have no idea.
So they're like, oh, we want to stay true to the book. Okay, no, you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to. And then, yeah, it did feel like that. I forgot about that, too. Maybe I deleted Halloween Kills from my brain. I just remembered the beginning and the end.
Mm-hmm. We're going to watch it, and you're just
I don't want to.
super angry the entire time.
I don't want to. I remember it now, so I don't have to.
Then it also has that prequel scene where we find out that the man that Lori has a crush on accidentally killed his partner because Michael was holding him hostage and he just missed with his gun, and then he gets off scot-free. Like, they're just like,
yeah.
we're not going to talk about this. Like,
it
it's
happens. Fine. It happens, bro. Sometimes you do a murder. It's okay. You were stressed.
But he lives throughout this entire fucking series too. Like, there's no...
Is that the I like your face guy?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really hate the evil dies tonight stuff, because that gets annoying very quickly and leads to that hospital death. And then it's like, my main problem with Halloween Kills specifically is that they can't decide if Michael is like a mythological figure or not, or if he is just a man. Like, and they go back and forth so many times. Like,
I think they landed on he's like both. Like, he was a man and then he became so evil that he became kind of not a man, but also still kind of is a man and totally killable. But also, I don't know, question mark. You know, like, it's like,
I get, if I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, like, Michael does get his ass kicked pretty bad towards the end of the second one, even though he like apparently walks it off like immediately after. Like that scene where they're just like ganging around him in the circle, like hitting him with bats and everything.
Yeah.
I think they stab him at one point. Like,
so funny.
It would fuck up a normal person. So like, if we were to assume that his wounds like got super infected and maybe he just has like an even weakened immune system from living in the sewers, like, yeah, he's probably not doing so great. Honestly, after 4 years, we've talked about this. There's a time skip. There's a time skip between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends where they allude to COVID, but they never say the fucking word. They never say COVID throughout the entire thing. I thought they were just
gonna be like, and Michael got COVID, or like, I don't know, or like Michael was respecting the law and staying inside.
For 4 years, he just did nothing. And in that time, everybody has time to heal, but not really, because they're going to take that trauma and use that to alienate our Joker figure. I don't even know the guy's name.
I forgot his name. They also imply, like, because Michael's still around, he's like making evil and animosity like fester within the city and blah blah blah. I hate it so much. And then this dumbass murders a kid. It's so funny. I'm sorry. Okay, let me rewind. Child murder's not funny. But
I don't know. This one was a little...
This was very funny. It's so funny.
I forgot about that. Yeah, because anytime somebody like gets shot or ends up dead because there's a pattern of violence on Halloween, they have to debate like, is it Michael? And they're like, no, he doesn't use guns, so this one can't be him, but he might still be out there. Like, fucking... God, like, make up your mind. Like, I can't...
Oh, we're talking about Halloween Ends now, by the way. We've transitioned into Halloween Ends.
Hi, yes.
It starts out with this kid, no, not kid, because they make it a point that he's 21 for some reason, like 5 times. Like, they're like, you're 21, right? Yeah, I'm 21. I'm 21 years old, and I'm going back to college. Like,
he's in a gap year, like before he finishes up his engineering degree or something.
Yeah,
like,
we got to know all of this for some freaking reason.
But then everybody treats him like he's a high school senior still.
They're like this weird. Young child who's 21. They even show him pick up a beer when he's babysitting, and he looks at it like, oh, I could drink this. And he puts it back, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? And the little kid is such a fucking brat. So he's babysitting this kid And the little kid is just like, I don't want to be babysat by this pussy bitch, or like whatever. and he's just like, okay. I don't know why the kid said that. Like,
he's
what?
like the kid is obsessed with the serial killers, I guess, because he knows all about Michael Myers, and he starts doing a like, he's gonna get you, but also he's not gonna get me, right? Like they also can't decide if this little kid is like sadistic or if he's just like actually scared.
Yeah, like I don't. The little kid.
That kid falls like 3 or 4 stories in this giant McMansion and beefs it at the beginning.
They show the stairs so much, and then he like is banging on the door and says, "I'll fucking kill you" or whatever as the parents get home. There's a lot of conveniently timed people getting home in this movie as well. Yes. People just getting home right at the right time to hear, "I'll fucking kill you," and then their child flying. Like, I don't know the physics behind that, but he like went flying over the railing. He
kicks open the door and it like breaks open and just smacks him. And you know that gif of handsome Squidward as he's like flailing through the air like in a circle. Yeah. I guess he does that. We just don't see that.
He does do that, and then he hits the ground, and his parents are like, "Oh, you monster!"
His name's Corey. That's what it was. So they think he murdered their son intentionally, but then he gets out in the legal system. So it happened in 2019. So right after he murders this kid, COVID happens.
Yeah, then COVID happens.
Okay, gotcha. Then we skip forward and Laurie has a house with Allison, and she's writing a book that is like so full of, if she had a publisher, she would just get back so many notes. It's like, can you come up with something original? Like, with these turns of phrases that you're using, like, are way overplayed.
They're so bad.
I mean, if Laurie Strode did write a book in like real life, it would sell so well because of all those true crime, like,
oh, yeah.
weirdos.
They would love that. They would love that. She would already have had a TV show, to be honest.
Yes. Allison wants to get out of town, but she feels like she can't because she thinks Laurie will like self-destruct without her. Laurie is doing much better. She's quit alcohol. She doesn't have any friends because every time she goes like into town, people berate her for like causing Michael Myers
murders.
It's like, how did we get here?
To victim blaming?
Yeah.
It makes me think of the time I overheard this couple in my store, and the girl was like, "I hope in the new Halloween he fucking kills Laurie because she just keeps messing with him."
She doesn't.
I turned around and I was like, what? I didn't say anything to them, but I was just like, "Ma'am, that is not what happens at all."
I mean, I guess it does in these last 2 movies. In the first one, she's just so like traumatized that she's
just a kid.
She's stocking up on stuff for the event that he does break out. Like in the first one, she's a doomsday prepper. But then in these other ones, well, I mean, the second one, she's in the hospital, so she can't really fuck with him then. Like,
not her fault.
But this time, maybe, I don't know.
She's still trying to like actively act like, nope, he's gone.
Yeah. So Laurie decides to play matchmaker with Allison and sets her up with the child murderer.
Because he got beat up by some high school band kids. Okay, let me talk about this. Because they reminded us he was 21 at the beginning of the film. 4 years past, he's 25 fucking years old, getting beat up. I'm cussing on this one. Getting beat up by a bunch of high school band kids.
They
make like 17, 18.
Because they're like 18, and their first interaction with him is like, "Hey man, can you buy us some beers? Because our fake ID got stolen." And he's just like, "No, I want to drink my chocolate milk and go in peace."
Oh yeah, he loves chalky milk.
And then they're like, "Oh wait, I know you. You're that guy who murdered that kid." Because everybody in town thinks he's a monster now.
And they call him a pedo too, which that was never worth thinking that.
I don't know. So because of that, he's very alienated, and it puts him on the path towards evil. But yeah, they just like keep messing with him like repeatedly, and he'll like do things to like get back at them
It's so
slightly,
stupid.
but like Lori helps him slash their tires, which is very funny. I
That is
like
funny.
that.
I liked that interaction. And then she's like, "This is my granddaughter," and he's like, "Oh." The doctor's like, "Isn't she cute?" And then he like kicks everything over. I don't.
I don't know. It's so
I was
weird.
like, what is this? And then that's the rest of the movie is them flirting.
Tried to set up a meet cute because he broke his or he cut open his hand on a broken chocolate milk bottle.
You love your chalky milk.
This is why you're not supposed to drink milk as an adult, because it'll turn you into a serial killer. If he didn't buy that milk, he wouldn't have smashed the bottle and then fell on top of it. And then he wouldn't
That's
have had to go to
true.
the hospital.
I feel like there's a lot of serial killers that probably drink milk.
The girlfriend in Get Out, like she had that one scene with the milk, like
Yeah, Clockwork Orange.
Mm-hmm.
He drinks all that milk. He loves milk.
Yes, so I
But
think
this guy likes chalky milk, so I thought it was safe, but it was not.
if you drink milk straight out the bottle, we got our eyes on you. It's completely unfounded. I'm gonna start a research paper and get like state funding to determine the correlation between milk consumption and violence. So he gets bullied by high schoolers. He's 25 fucking years old.
Like, on what planet are high schoolers? When do they walk up to grown adults and are like, "I'm gonna beat you up," and then they do? It's so weird.
It's so I don't understand. And they're band kids. They make a point of being like, "Oh, we're on our way to the state competition."
Because we're band. We're in band. We're in marching band. They're wearing like band Letterman jackets. And I knew a lot of band kids. None of them would have acted like that. It's so weird.
No, I don't think so.
So weird. But then they go to a Halloween party. Oh, this whole time it's still not Halloween.
No, not yet. Not yet. We're a couple days before Halloween.
Yeah. He goes to a Halloween party with the new girlfriend, Laurie Strode's granddaughter.
With Allison, because they've already hit it off, even though they've had like multiple weird interactions at this point. Because she sees something. She understands him because he and she have both been ostracized, but he says the difference between you and me is that they see you as a source of inspiration, as a survivor, and they look at me and they see a killer.
Yeah, and she's into that.
She's into his self-deprecating "woe is me." Like it's got big Heather's vibes, except that like there is nothing cool about Corey except that he has a shitty motorcycle, I guess.
Yeah, it's not even a cool motorcycle. And then she's like already riding with him and like holding his hand and being like, "Hee hee, I feel like I know you so well." It's like y'all been talking for like 1 hour.
There's the cop that she used to go out with who like keeps pulling her over to flirt with her, and it's just like super gross.
Weird.
Like,
it's so weird. But they had to set up all these characters because we live in a society for the Joker Corey to get mad at.
You gotta give them the law enforcement to go up against, which, like, I'm all for ACAB. Like, I believe it, but also I don't want to root for this man, because no, thank you.
No.
But yeah, Allison has to be like 25 or 26 too, because she was a senior in high school. And this cop is like easily in his 40s or 50s. Like, it's real nasty. Oh, but then at the Halloween party, they get confronted by the mother of the dead child, and Corey has a panic attack and leaves the party, where he gets accosted by a man who is living next to the sewer, who says that Michael is in it.
After he gets thrown off the bridge by the band.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because they find him again because they saw him at the garage, so they pull over and beat him up.
Oh, also he gets a scarecrow mask in this time. That's important.
He gets a scarecrow. Oh yeah, that's his. Oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, he gets a mask from Allison. and that's his mask. But he gets thrown off the bridge, and the band kids are convinced that they killed him, so they just leave his body and drive off. And
As you do.
And then he wakes up to the homeless man who, like, God, can our writers just say that they hate poor people? Like, because that's the main vibe I'm getting, is they just don't like anybody who is poor or is, like, disadvantaged.
No. They definitely do, because they're about to have the Joker, who is also poor, murder a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Because we live in a society.
So he accidentally stabs this old man who is living next to the sewer.
Accidentally?
Maybe not. I don't know. It's unclear. And then he gets drawn into the sewer by something.
Magic?
By magic, by the force of evil itself. Where he finds a decrepit Michael Myers who starts to choke him, but then they lock eyes and they are one.
But then they lock eyes. Then it's a different kind of choking. That's the movie I wanted to see. There's a scene later on where it's him and Michael, and then it cuts to him on a motorcycle with arms around him, and I was like, yes! But it wasn't Michael with his arms around him. It was just freaking Allison. It was like, no, that would have been so funny.
So when we talked about we talked about this point after we had seen the movie, and it had been like a day or two. When we discussed the newest Scream movie, they had Billy Loomis come back as a vision of his daughters, right? Mm-hmm. And it like kind of led to some uncertainty as to whether or not she was the killer or not in that movie, because it was like an unreliable narrator. They like tried to do that in this movie, because like Michael's not the one killing people until like the very end. We only ever see him in the sewer for the most part.
Just chilling in the sewer.
We just get to watch Corey like slowly descend into full, we live in a society, we gotta burn this whole fucking town down.
Michael Myers watches them do it and then leaves him his mask and is like, or the scarecrow mask, and is like, go forth and do my bidding.
So like Corey starts murdering literally who just like anybody who inconveniences him eventually.
Or his girlfriend. You know, don't be mean to his girlfriend. He'll murder you.
No.
Commitment.
Because he murders the cop because they're at a diner and the cop comes to talk to them and they almost get into a fight. But then he has to go back to his cop friends because he's scared of him. Meanwhile, Laurie is just like, oh, I fucked up. I should not have put these two together because I look into his eyes and I see Michael's eyes.
She's like, I see Michael, this man. Oh, yeah, because they like had a soul bond experience. Like Michael saw his past and they like connected. So some kind of weird magic's going on there.
I don't know. I don't get it. And then it's unclear whether or not Laurie is actually stalking Corey throughout this whole thing or if it's his own like delusions. Because he starts staying in the abandoned house that he accidentally killed the kid in. He just like sleeps on a mattress on the floor in there, and he wakes up to see Laurie like over him, like, stay away from my granddaughter.
What a winner, really, this boy. I can fix him. He just goes murdering. He murders the doctor that's mean to his girlfriend. She's a nurse, and his like girlfriend / the other nurse.
Oh yeah, the movie is slut shamey too. I forgot about that because the woman, Allison's coworker, sleeps with the lead doctor, and that's why she gets promoted and Allison doesn't, even though everybody thought Allison was a shoo-in to get it. So so then they go to the doctor's house and they start being sexy, and Corey shows up and he's not even good at killing people. He's really so bad at it. Like he
can't get through the glass door.
Like he keeps fucking up and dropping stuff and getting beat up, but it's not as fun as when Ghostface gets beat up and then Michael has to show up and save his ass and kill these people, but then we're supposed to think that Michael's not really there, and it's just confusing and it's not cool. But also Corey is still somehow strong enough to beat up Michael because
he goes to the sewer and beats up Michael.
He beats the shit out of Michael and steals his mask because he's the new Michael now.
It's so dumb.
It's
And then there's like they murder a radio guy just because he was like, get off my property.
And he's kind of like an Alex Jones in that he just like says conspiracy theories and stuff in between his musical sets. That makes it sound like he's doing like Into the Woods between. No, he plays records. Yeah, they murder him and they're just like, that part is kind of cool, I guess. That death where he goes into the station. That's just Michael. I don't even think that's Corey. Is it? I can't tell.
I don't know.
I'm sure that's the point, but it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, Corey is eventually like, well, if I can't have Allison, then nobody can. So he decides to go kill Lori, and so he breaks into her house, and she pretends that she's going to shoot herself, and then she shoots him. I didn't like that. No,
didn't like that.
No,
didn't care for that scene.
Because it's like, I guess the idea is that instead of depending on alcohol, Lori has this codependency on Allison living in the house with her. It's uncomfortable. Because it feels like a very shallow attempt at psychoanalyzing trauma by two guys who like obviously have no clue what they're talking about. No clue.
None. It's so bad. I don't know. And then like the ending is fine, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I guess it is Halloween when he finally beats up. You're gonna beat up Michael Myers on Halloween itself and steal his mask. Like,
he's gonna come for you. He should have been expecting that. Honestly. But then he like kills himself because Allison is conveniently walking in the door and he makes it look like Lori did it.
Oh yeah. Oh, he does kill the band kids too.
Oh
in his stepdad's like salvage yard / mechanic shop, because he like runs over one of them with like a construction vehicle, and she's like pinned against the ground and a fence, and then like one at a time these high school kids are like, oh my god, are you okay? Let me get out of there. And then they die, and then the next one shows up and it's like, oh my god, are you okay? And then they die. Funny. And then and then he stomps her skull, I think, and it does a big squishy sound effect.
Yeah.
And then he kills his stepdad, who is like the only person that was like nice to him. Even his mom sucks. Like, she has, going back to it, she has kind of the same like Munchausen's by proxy thing as like the mom in that one, where she's just like super obsessed and like micromanagey about everything that he is doing, but also like at the same time just very awful to him. She hits him at one point and then is immediately like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I promised I would never be like your father. It's like, okay,
more lore for this character I don't care about. He's 25. He likes chocolate milk and he was beat by his father.
Go to therapy.
Yeah, don't get a weird girlfriend that also needs therapy.
I refuse to believe that he would not have been sent to like court mandated therapy or something.
Yeah, he killed a kid on accident.
There's no way. Like, he would have been on parole and like all this stuff that like, no. There's no. Somebody would have been keeping tabs on him, because like, that's just, that wouldn't make any sense. He would have had check-ins or something, but I don't know. No, none of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Corey dies, and I felt nothing about it.
I didn't care.
But Allison is very upset because they were about to run away together.
Allison, what are you doing?
And then Michael shows up and finishes off Corey. And then we get our final fight between Lori and Michael, which is something that I thought was going to happen like 40 minutes prior to this movie.
This movie feels like 10 hours long.
We got to like the 30 minute mark, and we were like, what is happening? We're still on the romance subplot. Like,
yeah, it doesn't stop. They're dating for so long, but like a day has passed and it's like, let's watch these two fall in love. And I'm like, huh? I don't want to.
It's been like less than a week. This movie takes place over less than the span of a week.
Yep.
But it's enough time. Also, sorry, not to nitpick on details. We've already mentioned Corey is a shitty killer. He's also like blind throughout this entire fucking thing because he's got these giant like Coke bottle glasses that get smashed by the band kids. So like,
wait, isn't it implied he's got like Michael vision though? I think it's implied he got magical Michael vision whenever they soul connected.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I think it was just like the take off your glasses, you're secretly beautiful, except this time it's like take off your glasses, you're
average.
Killer.
You're very average. You murder people. I don't know if he's blind. He was like riding a motorcycle around and doing like murders. Maybe that's why he was so bad at doing murders.
Because he couldn't fucking see anything.
He was like, oh, hold on.
It'd be like if we gave you like a sharp instrument and we're like, go get him.
More than likely, I would end up injured. I'm so blind. But honestly, because he would just be walking around stabbing anything that was remotely human shaped. Because it's like, that's what it's like.
But no, instead, Michael has to come finish the job for him every time. So we get into our fight with Laurie and Michael. Finally, you had said initially that you didn't want it. You didn't want Michael v. Laurie to be the entire movie. No. But
afterwards, I said I would have rather had that. 2 hours of them fighting. Okay. Yes.
Yes. They stab each other a whole bunch. At one point, he gets crushed by a fridge.
Oh, that was... And then she crucifies him and then throws the fridge on him.
To her island kitchen.
She there's Michael Myers sitting there like Jesus in the middle of the suburban kitchen. Okay.
And then Allison, that's right. Because she came to the house, saw Corey was dead, was like, fuck you, Grandma, and left. And then decided to come
She gets back. Yeah, she comes back.
And she's like, actually, not fuck you, Grandma. I'm gonna help you. And so the two of them managed to kill Michael for good. The police show up, and then... and then they throw him in an industrial like chipper that you see in TikTok where they throw it in and you're just like, I'm ready for it to break.
Smash.
So Michael's definitively dead.
Yep, the end.
That's it.
It's so bad.
Oh, Laurie's boyfriend is obsessed with Japan.
Oh yeah, he's like learning Japanese. We learned that for some reason. They're in the grocery store. And Laurie's like, I like your face.
I like your face. You should try vegetables.
What kind of dialogue?
He's like, I've been studying Japanese using Duolingo because I want to go see the cherry blossoms.
The whole conversation is wild. It's like Sims trying to talk to each other. It's so weird. Like, I was like, huh? These are two people that like each other. I'm just gonna walk up to my boyfriend next time I see him. I like your face. You should eat vegetables.
I wonder if they got put in because Jamie Lee Curtis like loves One Piece. Like, is that why?
Maybe.
Did that somehow make it?
She's like, can my in-movie boyfriend be a weeb for no reason?
It's so weird.
Yeah. I want to know if Michael Myers likes anime and chocolate milk, but instead we had to find out about these random people.
Uh-huh. And that's the other, we talked about it. I know we did. I've gone on this rant before. In like all the interviews leading up to the release of this movie, they have been like, oh yeah, we really wanted to see what the effects of COVID and also the political landscape have had on us as a collective society. And then they just don't.
Nope.
They just don't. They don't mention it at all. But it's just like the whole moral. Nobody learns anything.
No.
Nobody learns anything. Michael dies. Corey dies. But they're still like, yeah, we're okay with creating this world that leads to
more
people
murder.
Like Corey.
Yeah, nothing is resolved. There's a really cool scene where they snap Michael's arm.
Oh my god, it's brutal.
That was brutal, but that was the only part that I liked. The chocolate milk was pretty funny. There was parts that were funny, but they weren't supposed to be funny.
No, probably not. It's just awkward.
Yeah.
And like the pacing of it is weird, and like I really want to know what what it would have, like, what was happening behind the camera.
Yeah, because
like,
the
what were they
dialogue
doing?
was really weird. Like, really weird.
Nothing against the actors themselves, because like they're trying.
Yeah, they're
And like
trying.
Jamie Lee Curtis has some very like genuinely emotional moments like throughout this new trilogy, and even Allison does in a couple of them. They killed Judy Greer in in
Yeah.
the second one.
I just why? Just why? Why?
I don't know. I would have much preferred that the series just ended
At the
after
first one.
2018.
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly,
Yep. Same.
like
It makes me nervous for the other Scream films. I'm like, oh god. Oh no.
I don't know. I have no idea what's gonna happen with those. Nev Campbell's not coming back for the next one.
It's already alarming.
Because they don't want to pay her enough. So we'll see. That's Halloween. I don't know.
I could have taken a nap during it, honestly.
It like really bums me out because like when I was first like I've had like multiple phases of like trying to get back into horror, right? Halloween was the series because it played on TV so much, like the first horror franchise that I watched all of. And so I really liked Michael Myers. I thought the concept was cool because the main idea behind that first one is just like, hey, you're not as safe at home as you would like to think you are. And that's scary.
That is scary.
We don't need to have a whole persona attached to it. It's literally just the boogeyman, like not knowing whether or not someone could break in. That is scary.
That's what's so
but
good
over
about
the course of these movies, they've just like continually tried to flip it to be like, but no, this one is about a very scary man in particular who is very, very special because he might be evil incarnate. But is he really? I don't know.
Can't
but
decide.
Also maybe he has magical powers. Like, just make a decision. Just do something. Like, fucking commit. I need you to like work with me here because I can't keep doing this wishy-washy. Like, isn't he special? And then you do the same thing with this new killer, and he's not.
I think I'd be cool with them just being done, but I know there's gonna be more Halloween films from the other company or whatever.
Yeah, they're probably gonna reboot it again, and I doubt Jamie Lee Curtis is gonna.
She's gonna be like, I'm done.
I'm good. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't even know what I would want. I legitimately do not know what I would want if they rebooted it, because like, what do you do? No. What do you do at this point?
That's why it should just be done. It should just be done. The end.
Yeah, that's it. Did you watch any good stuff during the Halloween month?
I rewatched Over the Garden Wall, but I always rewatch Over the Garden Wall.
Always good. I saw it like 3 times.
I haven't been watching much because, like I said, I've been working a lot. So I work and then I get home and I work out. And then I've been watching Superstore to fall asleep, which is it's funny. I work retail and then I watch a show about retail and I go to sleep. But now, like, I've been playing games more. There are like 80,000 Halloween events going on right now.
Yeah, there are.
So I'm like, I need everything in all of the games.
All the costumes, all the season passes.
Except for Overwatch. I'm not spending $30 on a witch skin. It's not happening. And you watched Barbarian. Did you watch anything else scary?
I watched Barbarian. I watched The Exorcist for the first time ever.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was very good. I rewatched The Mist after I think we had talked about it off the podcast. I
like that movie. I forgot how just like the ending just rips your soul out. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
I feel like I rewatched a lot of stuff that I had not seen. I watched the Gay Scooby-Doo, and that was nice.
I need to watch that still. I have so much stuff I need to watch. I've been watching anime, so I've been watching Chainsaw Man as it's airing. Horror. That is horror, yeah. And I love it. I love Chainsaw Man. And then I've been watching Mob Psycho and Spy Family.
Should we do a bonus episode about The Simpsons Death Note
Yes, I need to watch that. Apparently it's so good. I've been seeing TikToks about it, and it looks so good.
But yeah, those is my thoughts in as succinct a version as you're going to get about the newest Halloween trilogy. I don't usually like to get like super negative about movies.
I do.
Well, because like I don't know, it's hard putting this stuff together, right? Like, and it's a lot of work, but like
I feel bad like dunking on it because I know they worked hard on it. I think I said that when we were leaving. Like, I know that they care about this movie. Like, everyone that works on it cares about it, and I know they worked hard on it. But it was bad.
It's just somebody had an idea that was not thought out fully, and they just ran with it and didn't really like stop to adjust any plot holes or like hiccups. So it's just weird. It's just kind of disappointing.
It is.
But yeah, that's Halloween.
That's Halloween.
Maybe someday we'll talk about the first movie and we'll do a whole deep dive into the pre-production with that, because I think that would be much more fun.
That would be fun. Pause. Speaking of talking about movie franchises, they might be tearing down the Texas Chainsaw House.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
So be sure to watch our vlog where we go to the Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I want to go back before it's too late.
We need to check that out and see. And this time I won't be like literally on the verge of death while there.
Mm-hmm.
That will be nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I've got for this episode.
That's all I've got too, yeah.
Sorry for getting so angry.
I'm not.
Next time we'll talk about something much more fun.
Woo!
And also, if you like these movies, you can like them. You're not wrong or bad for liking these movies. Okay, no. You're not a bad person for liking these movies. You are wrong, though.
Yeah. You're not bad. You just are a different person than me. Which is okay.
You're probably just under the age of 25, and that's fine.
Do you drink chocolate milk? Are you under the age of 25?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Bye.
Bye. You have been listening to Monster Masquerade. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to let us know somewhere on the internet and consider sharing the show with a friend. If you have a suggestion or topic you'd like to see us discuss, hop on over to our Patreon to unlock exclusive bonus content and do just that. And we'd super appreciate it if you could leave us a review on iTunes. It's the fastest way to help the show grow. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find podcasts.